Hi, I'm James, and here's a tour of my Assignment 5 app for Android. So let's go ahead and give a demo of the app itself. I'll start by running the app. Here we see on top we have a spinner. The spinner has 4 different food categories, and then below the spinner we have a list. Uh, Based on what I select here on the spinner, the list updates. For every item on the list, we can click on the item. It shows the title, an image, and a description of that item. The title is the same title as shown on the list itself. So if I click on fried mozzarella, you could see the same title there, along with its corresponding image and description. Every item in the menu has, let me click on a different category here. Every item has a unique image and description. We can just, this works for every item we can select. Anyway, so that's it for the demo. It's pretty straightforward. Now let's look at the code. Let's start with mainActivity.xml. It's very straightforward. It has a spinner, which is this up here, and then it has a list view. That's really it for activity main. We have a unique XML file for the list items. That's for this. It's just one text view. It just defines the text properties. And we have another XML for spinner items. Again, it's just one text view, and I use that for the text size and stuff like that. Then we also have a XML file for the description. That's the XML file that handles all of this rendering. We have a text view for the title. For the image, I'm actually using a relative layout, frame layout, and an image view. The relative layout just centers the image horizontally. And the frame layout with the image view is nice for setting a 10 dp border around the image. I simply set frame layout to wrap content along with padding of 10 dp. And it's just an easy way to get a nice border around the image. And then at the bottom, we have another text view for the description. So let's go ahead and look at the Java files now. Up here at the top is all the provided arrays for the assignment. Then I do some declarations here. Over here on create, we only need 2 find by IDs for the spinner and the list. And then down here, I set adapters. I actually have 5 different adapters. So there's one adapter for the spinner, and then there's another adapter for all 4 different lists, because we have 4 different lists for all the different categories. So we set adapters for all of those. And for my spinner, we set the adapter right away because the spinner is the same the whole time. So we set the adapter once. But the list, that adapter can change depending on which category we're looking at. So the way we do this is we do set on item selected listener. This gets called whenever we select something in the spinner. And then we set the appropriate adapter. Since we have 4 different adapters, each adapter points to a different list or a different array in Java. And so this is what actually updates the number of elements that we see in the list and the text on those elements. And then finally, when you actually click an element, we need this to work properly. So the way that works is item on click listener. This gets called whenever we click on an item. And we need to know 2 things. We need to know the spinner position, and we need to know which list item was clicked. So we can get the spinner position from this call right here, get selected item position. That gives me a number for the spinner position. And then this position right here is the actual list item position. So with those 2 things, I can send the appropriate data to the next activity. I use 3 put extra calls for title, image, and description. And this whole area is just sending the appropriate data. I'll give just an example of one of them. So let's say that we go under desserts and we choose Dolcini, or how you pronounce it. So desserts would be item 3. So that would mean spinner position number 3. And then this would be position 1. So this position is 1. So it's saying the title is in the dessert array, position 1. It's saying that the description is in the dessert description array, position 1. For the image, I'm doing something a little fancy. The image names are kind of predictable, so I simply start with D, which is the prefix for dessert images, and then I concatenate position plus 1 to that string, and that is the name of the image resource. And so it's able to automatically, from these 2 lines, choose the correct image just based on the name. So then now here in description.java, it's very straightforward. We'd have a title, image, and description. We get the content of them from get string extra, get int extra, and get string extra, and then we just set the resources right here. And so that's pretty much it for the app. Thank you for listening.